An electrician booked a call with me this past weekend, and his story is just devastating. He's an honest guy, real company, doing real work, and his phone almost completely stopped ringing about a year ago because the marketing company he was working with had just been taking his money, building him nothing, and then they just left him there. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how I'd rebuild his entire playbook with SEO from the ground up in 6 months, step by step, because this happened to him, and it's happening to a lot more contractors out there that we know. Watch this and see how we fix it. So, he got burned by an agency. He paid for months and didn't know what he got. Does it sound familiar? The tell is that he basically owns nothing. No access, no assets, no idea what's actually been done. And this is the #1 story I hear on these calls. It's a trust problem, not an SEO problem. Every single time I get one of you guys on the call, you guys start explaining this. Now, luckily for him, he actually does have access to his domain and his Google business profile, which he owns. So there is a silver lining here. When we build for our clients, we make sure you guys always have ownership over this stuff, and we just build on top of it where you guys maintain the actual ownership of your assets. Now, specifically with his Google business profile, if you guys know a lot about SEO and you guys have been watching the channel, you know where I'm going with this. There's no physical address in the profile. Look at this. Right now, he's a service area business. But as we've been talking about, the Maps Pack algorithm is a proximity-based algorithm. And without some sort of address to actually rank with in Google Maps, you're just a node that exists nowhere in the map. You're not going to be able to rank near anybody. So when somebody actually searches for a term like electrician near me, if you're not actually on the map, you can't be near anybody. So the way we're going to fix this is we're going to get him a real, actual physical address. It's not a PO box and it's not a virtual office, okay? Because those don't work. They've been burned. Yes, you can get away with some that are privately owned, and that's usually the direction we go, but any kind of national type agency where they're offering co-working spaces like WeWork or something, those physical addresses just don't work. You can't verify profiles inside of those these days. So to actually begin working on and fixing this profile from the ground up, let's talk about month 1. Month 1 obviously is getting access back. We are trying to rebuild and clean up what the agency left us, right? If you guys have seen our other videos, primarily what we go after first in this first little chunk of work is the NAP data, the name, address, and phone number everywhere. We look up the business name, we go to different directories, the local citations, Better Business Bureau, Yelp, and other niche type directories, and make sure the information is cleaned up from top to bottom with their name, address, and their phone number. And on this round, we're going to make sure the address for the Google business profile is actually added to these citations and syndicated and indexed before we actually go to verify that profile so it's easier to get live. Month 2 is going to be all about the actual website and cleaning up a location landing page that's actually tied to the profile, adding out in his service pages and make sure they actually have jobs and photos of local work that they've actually done. Again, if you guys have been paying attention on the channel so far, we know that AI mentions are looking more and more at local signals and social signals to actually see what you've been up to around your town and what jobs you guys have actually fulfilled. In his case over here, we have a single GBP location, so we're not actually multi-location, not yet for this guy if he wants to go that route. And the landing page actually goes to the home page. I did a quick deep dive on the exact HTML and everything on the site. The bones are okay, but these guys made a critical error. There's no social proof on the page. He's got, let's look here, 96 reviews over on his Google business profile, but the reviews and any specific type of job wording that actually shows he's a local expert is kind of just missing on the page. We've got 2 thin ones here. We don't actually talk about how these are linked to the Google business profile. There's no Google logo for added trust, and there's just not a lot of jobs that are talked about on the page. We're also missing the contact form down here so people can actually reach out. It just ends at the reviews. This is what we're seeing on so many profiles these days. The biggest miss that we're seeing is that a lot of you guys just don't have the real local wording on the page, right? We've been talking about this on the channel. Every single landing page, especially your home page, needs to have location-based wording for all of these projects you guys have actually completed in the past. Focused on the location, the service, and keywords stuffed into those H2s. Some people are going to call it keyword stuffing, but we've seen incredible results by following this structure. By month 3, we're going to start working on the review machine. We're going to make sure he has a review machine in place for every single job. Whenever he completes it in his CRM, whenever he closes out a job, we're going to go after reviews aggressively on his profile. I looked at his existing market. It looks like we need about 2 reviews every 2 weeks. Roughly on average, maybe he gets 2 one week, misses on the second week or something. About 4 a month is where I'd want to see review velocity on this profile. And as we start to get these guys more jobs, it's going to be easier for us to start farming out those reviews, right? We did a review guide last week you guys can check out for all these little dirty tricks on how to actually get reviews. At the high level, you need to be incentivizing your team, your techs, your customers, and trying to get these reviews out of them, right? Put something in their hand so they feel obligated to leave you guys a review.
That way, you guys can have strong review velocity and a strong SEO playbook on the profile that meld together and actually start producing ranking results. Now, by about month 4, we're going to have most of the on-page SEO dialed. We're going to have the review velocity coming up, and now we're going to start working on the off-page layer. Really, what this comes down to is the Better Business Bureau built out, citations matching, all that NAP data, and starting to add in more of those places where AI is actually looking. We're going to look at more niche type directories. We're going to talk about the jobs, the services. We're going to start pushing reviews into those areas and those other citations, and not just the Google Business Profile itself. Again, if you guys have been watching the breakdowns on the channel recently, you'll know that we actually can do audits in ChatGPT, find exactly where it's pulling information for that demographic and that location, and then start looking at those citations and targeting them with dedicated SEO. We're going to go to those citations, we're going to make sure our information is actually filled out in the profiles, and we're going to start hammering reviews from that angle. That way, when AI actually crawls the citations and the different nodes out there on the internet, it can start looking at who offers these comprehensive services in these areas. Then, ideally, we get ranked for those terms, we start showing up at ChatGPT, other AI mentions, and now we have on-page SEO, we have Google Business Profile and Local Maps SEO paired with AI rankings starting to actually come into the fold. Now, by about month 5 and 6 for a campaign like this is where we're in evaluation mode, and this is where SEO becomes much more strategic rather than just procedural based. So we've got all the foundation, right? We fixed the GBP, we have a physical address on it. Now we have reviews coming in. We're working on off-page citations and making sure that AI is actually picking us up. Month 5 is where we begin to actually compound, okay? Do we need more pages? Do we need more reviews? Do we need more PR? What is already making the phone ring and what do we need to double down on, right? Usually we like to do this at about month 3 or 4 for campaigns, but given that this company does not have a physical location on its business profile yet, we actually need to wait a little bit longer, make sure we have the foundation, and then once we actually have the foundation and some solid SEO work being done, we can see exactly what SEO is being done that's working really effectively, and then double down on that to begin investing and compounding in those efforts. With a situation like this, we honestly think we could start moving the needle in about 60 to 90 days. The profile is obviously getting some kind of traffic, but a landing page could be optimized, right? I'd like this contact form to actually be up here. I'm not so sure I like this. If anything, I would have this as like a pop-up or a modal on top of the site that would show up just after a little bit, kind of like a toast or a pop-up that people could click through. Their basics aren't that bad. Really, we just need a physical address. The bones of the SEO are okay. I'd like to keyword stuff quite a bit more of this, like I was mentioning with the jobs and everything, but I think we could actually see a significant improvement in the leads that this profile gets in about 60 to 90 days. And really, that just comes down to getting the physical address in the profile. As you guys have seen on other videos we've been talking about, there's a few ways you can go about this, okay? Usually, we're just going after a profile within the city that you guys can basically just slip the profile and the GBP into, right? This is usually an office park you guys can go rent month to month. It's anywhere from $500 to $800 usually when you guys have to verify one of these profiles. Get a 30-day lease, do month to month, get in, shoot the video, and then get out. And with that one simple trick, I think we could actually get this profile ranking, I would say 2 to 3 times better just in the first 60 to 90 days in the first 3-month sprint, just from getting that physical address on the profile. Paired with enough syndication and then work on the different citations that are off page and starting to actually build out the profile on the website with more local type wording, we could start to expect to see some AI mentions actually come around by about month 3 and 4. Then, by month 5 and 6, we know exactly what to double down on and actually keep the phone ringing for what's working for this exact GBP in this location. So that's the plan for this specific Google Business Profile. And here's the thing, guys. He actually came from YouTube. He's been watching the videos. He came to us. He had some questions about what's going on with his current agency and why his phone actually went quiet. And I told him I'll just go make a free market breakdown video and I'll talk about exactly what I would do to start fixing the profile. So he has this value for free either way. And we chatted for nearly an hour about this, answering questions back and forth and making sure that he was covered. So if you guys want me to do the same thing for you, the link is down below to book a time, and make sure you guys subscribe as well, because we're going to keep doing breakdowns like this, talking about more physical address profiles and getting that actually verified this week. We're shooting a video tomorrow about that. So stay tuned, subscribe, and we'll talk soon.